Okay, so I stopped composting 6 months ago. Completely quit. And my garden? It's never looked better. I know that sounds backwards, but stick with me because what I discovered by accident is going to save you so much time and money that you'll wonder why anyone still bothers with compost bins. This method is so stupidly simple that I actually felt embarrassed when I realized it worked better than everything I'd been doing for years. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we keep your plants thriving and your wallet happy. If you're new here, you just walked into the best gardening community on YouTube where we share real solutions that actually work. I'm so glad you're here. Now, before we dive in, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our budget-friendly garden hacks. Trust me, your future self will thank you. And here's the deal, if this method blows your mind like it did mine, drop a comment below telling me what you're going to use it on first. I read every single one, and I love hearing your stories. The revelation. Alright, let me tell you how this whole thing started. Last spring, I completely forgot about a pile of grass clippings I'd left in the corner of my yard. Life got busy, you know how it goes. 3 months later, I'm walking past that spot and I notice something incredible. The plants growing near that forgotten pile were massive. Like, suspiciously healthy. Bigger leaves, deeper green, growing faster than anything else in my garden. At first, I thought maybe it was just a lucky spot. Better drainage, more sun, whatever. But then I started paying attention. That grass pile had basically disappeared into the soil. It wasn't sitting there rotting in some bin. It wasn't giving me that awful smell. It just became part of the earth. And the soil underneath? Absolutely gorgeous. Dark, crumbly, full of life. That's when it hit me. I'd been overcomplicating everything. The problem with traditional composting. Look, I spent years doing compost the right way. Turning it every week, checking moisture levels, balancing greens and browns like I was some kind of scientist. And sure, eventually I'd get compost. But here's what nobody talks about. It takes forever. We're talking months, sometimes over a year depending on where you live. You need space for those big bins that honestly look pretty ugly in most yards. The smell during summer? Let's just say my neighbors weren't thrilled. Plus, you're constantly managing it too wet, too dry, not enough air, too much air. It becomes this whole thing. And for what? To eventually get something you could have had naturally without all that effort? Here's the truth bomb, nature has been making incredible soil for millions of years without any bins, without any turning, without any human intervention whatsoever. So why are we acting like we need to reinvent the wheel? The lazy method revealed. What I'm about to share is called chop and drop, but that name makes it sound more complicated than it is. Basically, you're letting organic material decompose exactly where you need it, right on top of your soil. Here's how ridiculously simple this is. When you mow your lawn, instead of bagging those clippings, spread them directly around your garden beds. Just a thin layer, maybe an inch or two. When you prune your plants, chop up those leaves and stems into smaller pieces and drop them right at the base. Pulled some weeds? As long as they haven't gone to seed yet, lay them down as mulch. Kitchen scraps like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, eggshells? Bury them a few inches into your garden soil. That's it. Seriously. You're done. The magic happens underneath. The moment that organic material touches your soil, an entire army of microorganisms, fungi, worms, and beneficial bacteria go to work breaking it down. They're like tiny composters working 24/7, and they're way better at their job than you or I could ever be. Within weeks, that grass starts disappearing. Within months, it's completely integrated into your soil, releasing nutrients slowly exactly when your plants need them. No waiting a year for finished compost. No turning piles. No bins taking up space. Why this actually works better? Now, I know some of you are thinking, okay, but does this actually work as well as real compost? Here's the thing, it works better, and I'll tell you why. Traditional composting heats up during decomposition, right? That heat kills weed seeds and pathogens, which is great. But it also destroys some of the beneficial microorganisms and fungi that your soil desperately needs. When you compost in a bin, you're creating this isolated system away from your garden. But with chop and drop, decomposition happens directly in your soil ecosystem. All those beneficial organisms stay alive and active. The nutrients don't have to be transported from your compost bin to your garden, they're already exactly where your plants can access them. Plus, that layer of organic material acts as mulch while it breaks down, suppressing weeds, retaining moisture, and regulating soil temperature. I started testing this in different areas of my garden. One bed got traditional compost. Another got the chop and drop treatment. Same plants, same watering schedule, same sunlight. After just one growing season, the chop and drop bed was noticeably healthier. Better yields, fewer pest problems, soil that felt like chocolate cake. Quick pause if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps more gardeners discover these kinds of practical tips. And seriously, drop a comment telling me, what's the most frustrating part of your current composting routine? Or if you don't compost yet, what's holding you back? I want to hear from you. What you can use. Let me break down what materials work absolute magic with this method. Grass clippings are your best friend. They're nitrogen-rich, break down quickly, and most of us have endless supplies every time we mow. Just remember thin layers only. Too thick and you'll create a slimy mat that blocks water. Leaves are phenomenal, especially in fall. I run my mower over them first to shred them up, then spread them around everything. They're carbon-rich, so they balance out all that nitrogen from grass. Plant trimmings from pruning are perfect. Soft green stems break down fast. Woody stems take longer, so I chop those into smaller bits first. Vegetable scraps go straight into the garden. I dig a small hole, toss them in, cover with soil. Gone in weeks. No animals digging them up if they're buried properly. Coffee grounds and tea bags are excellent. Worms absolutely love coffee grounds. I sprinkle them around my acid-loving plants especially. Cardboard and newspaper work too. I lay them down as a base layer for new beds, wet them thoroughly, then cover with grass clippings. Within months, you've got beautiful soil where there used to be lawn. What to avoid? Now, let's talk about what not to use, because this is important. Skip anything diseased. If your tomato plant had blight, don't chop and drop those leaves. You'll just spread the problem. Weeds that have gone to seed are a no-go unless you bury them deep. Otherwise, congratulations, you just planted a weed garden. Thick branches won't break down fast enough to be useful. Either run them through a chipper or save them for something else. And obviously, no meat, dairy, or oils in the garden. Those attract pests and create odor issues. Stick with plant material. Let me walk you through exactly how I use this in my actual garden routine. Every time I mow, which is weekly during the growing season, I do a pass around my garden beds first with the bag off. Those clippings fall right where I want them. Takes zero extra time. When I'm harvesting vegetables, I remove the spent plants and chop them up right there. Old lettuce that bolted? Chopped and dropped. Tomato plants after frost? Same deal, as long as they were healthy. I keep a small bucket by my kitchen sink for veggie scraps. Once a day, I take a minute to bury them in different spots around the garden. I rotate locations so no single area gets overloaded. In fall, I mow over all my leaves multiple times, creating a beautiful mulch that I spread everywhere around trees, in beds, over pathways. By spring, it's mostly broken down and I just work whatever's left into the soil. The result? I'm constantly feeding my soil without any dedicated composting time. My garden is healthier. My workload is lighter. And I'm not spending money on bagged compost or fertilizers anymore. I know some of you might be worried about a few things, so let me address them. Won't this look messy? Only if you go crazy with thick layers. Keep it thin and intentional. Within a few days, fresh grass clippings settle and start breaking down. It looks like mulch, not like you dumped your lawn clippings everywhere. What about attracting pests? In 2 years of doing this, I haven't had any pest issues that weren't already happening with traditional composting. Burying kitchen scraps eliminates most concerns. That layer of organic material actually attracts beneficial insects that help your garden. Does this work in all climates? Absolutely. Decomposition happens faster in warm, moist conditions and slower in cold or dry areas. But it happens everywhere. In colder climates, you just get a nice protective mulch layer through winter that breaks down when things warm up. Let's talk about what this means for your wallet, because that's what earthly gardening is all about. I used to spend roughly $200 every year on bags of compost and fertilizer. Not anymore. That money stays in my pocket now. The materials I'm using are grass clippings, leaves, and plant trimmings that were already mine. I was already creating them through normal yard maintenance. I just redirected them. Plus, I'm not buying compost bins, tumblers, or activators. I'm not running out for bags of compost starter or worrying about carbon-to-nitrogen ratios. No special tools, no gadgets, nothing. My soil keeps getting better each year, which means my plants are healthier and more productive. Better harvests, fewer losses to disease or pests, less money spent trying to fix problems. It all adds up. This is gardening the way it should be, working with nature instead of fighting against it, and keeping more money where it belongs. Here's what I want you to take away from this: you don't need to make gardening complicated to make it successful. Start small if you're nervous. Next time you mow, spread some clippings around one plant and watch what happens. Bury your coffee grounds for a week and see the difference. Test it in one bed before going all in. I promise you're going to be amazed at how well this works. And more importantly, you're going to feel relieved at how much easier your garden routine becomes. Nature is an incredible teacher if we're willing to pay attention. That forgotten pile of grass clippings taught me more than any gardening book ever did. Sometimes the best solutions are the ones that have been right in front of us the whole time. Alright, friends, that's everything I've learned about ditching the compost bin and letting nature do the heavy lifting. If this changed the way you think about composting, do me a huge favor and share this video with another gardener who needs to hear it. Make sure you're subscribed to Earthly Gardening, because we've got so many more budget-friendly, actually practical tips coming your way. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Drop a comment below telling me what you're going to try first, or if you already do chop and drop, share your experience. I love learning from this community. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and remember, the best garden is one that doesn't break the bank. Happy gardening!